we had actionable intel for the students. Now let's talk to the teachers because we have a lot of them.
If you don't mind, can we do a quiz with the students, a snap
Go
quiz?
on ahead. Yes, please.
Yes,
Can we have
answer.
house lights?
I'm going to throw the first question. The only ape to be found in India. The gorilla, the chimpanzee, the gibbons, the orangutans are the apes. Which one do we have in India? I wish we had the orangutans. We don't.
Is it the gibbon?
It is the
Yes.
gibbon. It is the Hoolock Gibbon. Yes? Now these are things to go into your heads, and end of day today, you're going to actually do this in a dinner conversation. You're going to speak on this in your social media. If you're those story buffs, the first story is going to be, only ape to be found in India is the Hoolock Gibbon. You find this in the northeastern part of your country. Yes? Second question I have for you. Olive Ridley sea turtles nest along the east coast of this country. Yes? There is a beautiful phenomena that happens in Odisha, in the Rushikulya beach. Yes? In the Rushikulya beach and further 3 other beaches. There is a mass nesting of sea turtles that happens. What is that called? This is story number 2. It's called Arribada. It's called Arribada. Think of a hospital where one pregnant mother is delivering a child. Think of one hospital where 10,000 mothers at the same time come deliver kids. That's what's happening at Rushikulya Gahir Mata in Odisha. Story number 1, the only ape to be found in India, Hoolock Gibbon. What gibbon? And the mass nesting of sea turtles in Odisha is Arribada. Yeah, you're going to be with me. The leopard that is found in the northeastern part of this country, it's a clouded leopard. Yes, you have a snow leopard in the Himalayas, you have the Deccan leopard here, you have a clouded leopard in the northeast. The Hoolock Gibbon, mass nesting of sea turtles as Arribada, and third is your clouded leopard. We have 2 more to go. The next one I'm going to ask you, in the salt deserts of Gujarat, you have a resilient animal. It's a donkey variety. Name him or her. No, I said donkey.
Donkey variety.
Is the Asiatic wild ass. Yeah? It's the Asiatic wild ass. The Hoolock Gibbon, Arribada, clouded leopard, the Asiatic wild ass. Your national aquatic animal? What dolphin? Which dolphin?
The river dolphin?
The river dolphin. India is a country of such magic. The only country in the entire world where you'll find a lion and a tiger in one geographical boundary, it's ours. Go to Malaysia, Indonesia, they'll show you tigers. Come to South Africa, they'll show you lions. Bring them to India, we can show lion and tiger in one country. You name them, we've got them all. From an elephant to a rhino to the camel to the Asiatic wild ass to the great Indian bustard to the great hornbill. Glacial ecosystems blend and merge into finesse into a desert ecosystems with the oldest tabletop mountains in the world as the Aravallis and the Vindhyas running perpendicular, not letting the Ganges flow south. From the desert, you have the emergence of your Western Ghats, which runs close by, the evergreen forests. And then it goes and touches the tip at Cape Comorin, where you have the open ocean. Dolphins, sharks, whales, sea cows, sea turtles, and much, much more. The Eastern Ghats along the Odisha coast, and then you're in Bengal, the Sundarbans, then the magic of Northeast. You think of any one other landmass which has all of this within one geopolitical boundary. The fact that we are born in this country, the fact that we share the soil, the earth, the water, the air with all this life, and the fact that we are maybe a few irresponsible Indians in a beautiful India is something for you to think about. In school, school is magical, right? Hogwarts was for Harry Potter. That's what I feel about my school. And when I look at all of you, don't take any pressure. What are you worried about? What are you scared for? Just think of India. If India could survive the onslaught by hundreds of people, thousands of people, million people, billion people for centuries, you and I are survivors. And we can do so much more for this country, and that's my humble request. Don't clap, because I didn't come here for that. Come back and tell me through your vice principal who reached out, and you'll be very happy to know 7 of the students wrote to me on LinkedIn. I don't know, no other school I've noticed this. 7 students wrote to me on LinkedIn after the posters came out. When you're here, I want to meet you. And one young man wrote saying, can we have a lunch-on meeting? I didn't know that students in school knew what lunch on meetings were. I'm fascinated to discuss with those 7 people. Psychologically, any given crowd gets divided into 3. It's 1, 9, and a 90. Where 1 are proactive thinkers, 9 are reactive individuals who can take right and wrong and start an action based on that information. 90 is an innocent, ignorant population that believes in anything and everything that's been said. When Haim invited me here, I belong to the 90. He said, this school is filled with 1 and the 9, and the audience who's going to be watching online is also 1 and the 9. And I belong to the 90. I innocently, ignorantly believed in that. That's why I'm here with you. Come back and tell me how we're going to be volunteering for Coimbatore and her environment with the 18 schools, the 10,000 students, the 1,200 faculty. That's what I'm excited about, and that's what we should do.
We're now going to get the mics going around. We're going to get the question answers started. Can we get some questions for this incredible human being who's so very passionate about the planet that it's infectious?
My name is Pooja Anantharaman and I'm studying in grade 10. And I'm just curious about how do you see the balance between the urban development and the environmental conservation in India? And what do you think are the biggest challenges in maintaining this balance?
The balance doesn't exist. And to even get that balance communicated to a larger audience is challenge number 1. Challenge number 2 happens to be the complacency that we've hit as urban dwellers, where we love talking about the problem. And we love problems. We don't want the solution. Simple as this. If there was a clean river, nobody's going to speak about it. If there's a dirty river, everybody wants to speak about it. Listen to this now. Noyalla vandu nora tappa tappa thanni ponadhaan everybody likes it. Noyal cleana with fish frog la irukona, because that is status quo, that's normal, expected, but that doesn't happen. What excites us? Take our movies, take anything, entertainment for example, right? Are they showing you a happy school, bunch of good kids, a beautiful family, parents, where everybody is happy? No, they actually want to show you violence, they want to show, because we love problem. So my biggest challenge is how to get fellow citizens to think about a life without problems, where we are self-engaged, not self-involved, self-explorative, and maybe it is self-discipline, which is what is going to bring a solution to the existing problems. And young individuals like you, if you can sow that seed of maybe not greenwashing, maybe not falling for propaganda of any kind, if we can simply start looking deep within, and we don't have to wear khadi clothes and jolna bags and chappal and then just walk everywhere. Maybe that's also not possible in the current age. We'll have to look what Coimbatore needs. Where does Coimbatore stop? Coimbatore to Tirupur, to Perundurai, to Erode, to Salem. If we continue like this, one day there will be no natural space left. And it can't be with 10,000 buildings, one green spot. That's not nature balance. These discussions and conversations through today, through the years to come, and you have a very young leadership that's taking over, I'm sure. This discussion and sowing that seed of sustainability is the key.
I love this. I also like how you advocate for people to use their own common sense and not listen to the noise in the world, because there is a lot of noise in this world. Can we go back to the young man up there before we move to other questions here?
Namaste, sir.
Namaste,
I'm
ji.
Karan from Reed's World School, and I have a question for you. Sir, if you could share one pivotal moment in your life that had shaped your journey, what would it be, and how did it influence your path?
Every moment. There is no one magical turning point where you suddenly things change. This is very important for me. I will tell you why. 2012 is the first time when I set foot into Coimbatore. The Selva Chintamani Kulam at Selvapuram was the water body we took up for restoration. Even today you'll see a nice G-shaped island in that lake. So many different kinds of fish we found in that lake. And one of the fish was taken to a lab for a sample, a dead fish. We found toxins in that fish and it was cyanide. And the reason being, upstream of the lake, you have goldsmiths who are washing jewelry and they're sending all the contaminants into the lake, and that toxin is forming a cesspool puddle in one part of the lake where this fish fed on it and died. Now, this is transformational for me in many ways, simply because what are you doing? You're just picking plastic bags from the lake, but the lake's water has cyanide, and that water is going ground below. And in my family, I've lost 2 people to cancer, right? And I hear from many circles, you're way too young for me to pass on all this, but please be prepared for the real world. These are challenges, health challenge, from kidney to liver to lungs to what we breathe to what we eat is actually having an impact on this body. That's where saving the planet is not what we should be thinking about. Our own self on this planet is what we should think about and maybe make choices. So for me, every instance with nature has been a learning, has been an experience, and it's crucial. I'm now thinking how I'm going to work with that young lady in maybe taking this message of conservation across. I'm thankful to you for having asking this question so that I could put on record the Selva Chintamani Kulam story. Every minute is actually important, and it is the turning point, according to me. For India and her environment, we can't take a breather because Indians don't let you take a breather.
Vanakkam, sir.
Vanakkam.
My name is Ritanya Jyoti. I'm from grade 10. So we would like to know, how does the EFI address the intersection of environmental issues with social and economic factors such as poverty and urbanization? What are your thoughts, sir?
Actually, I thought about all of this way too much. How do I bring in gender balance in nature, right? Men, women, third gender. How do I bring class equality in nature? How do I bring socio-economic balance in nature? All this kept going in my head. Then one day nature in a kind of a coconut dropped on my head and said, just think nature. Because nature doesn't have divisions, right? Nature has no divisions whatsoever. She gives the same amount of rain for that elephant and for me. It's how I use it, how the elephant uses it. The elephant on its path, on his or her path, actually creates so many ecosystems. But all that I'm doing is I'm creating garbage patches as I move on. And the easiest answer to your question is, don't think about human beings. It's unfortunate we have to live with them. It's unfortunate that we have to actually engage with them. It's unfortunate we have to talk to them. But my request is, stop thinking about fellow human beings and feel that you're part of the universe, the cosmos, the greater energy exists out there. You're one of the leopards, elephants, tigers, blade of grass and more, because you're just one tiny speck in this big universe. And at that day, things will fall in place. The right kind of people will come into your path, or you will be drawn into their orbit. And then we just start moving and there's no looking back. And I've started believing in Jungle Book and Hogwarts and Harry Potter for the simple reason, at a greater level, magic is not for everybody's eyes, right? And human eye can't see magic. With nature, you will be able to see magic in every act of it. My humble request to you is, if some social issue is bothering you, the answer lies in nature. Engage yourselves with environment, everything will fall in place.
Namaste, sir. I am from SSVM School of Excellence. My name is Rohan Payas. So, what are some innovative approaches you have found effective in mobilizing communities for environmental conservation? Can young people get involved in these initiatives?
Don't reinvent the wheel. That is the story. And I'm going to take 2 minutes to explain this, so I know we're running out of time. Kalingarayan, remember this name. Bangara Doddi, remember this name. Both these names are related to Kaveri. And Kalingarayan story, my life hero, this great saint, water saint is what I wish to call him. Yes, the Bhavani river runs upstream here, Pillur, Metupalayam, goes to the dam, and then goes and merges with the Kaveri somewhere near at Bhavani, Kumarapalayam. Yes, the Kaveri runs west to east. The Bhavani, the Noyyal, the Amaravati are all south to north running rivers, tributaries of the Kaveri. Many hundred years ago, with no excavators, with no electricity, with no internet, with no transforming sessions such as this, there was one social reformist called Kalingarayan. Equality, everything, all that's for another day. This one individual as a leader gathered a large community. Bhavani'la poi ஆறுல போய் தண்ணி வந்து காவேரியில விழுந்துட்டே இருக்கு, நொய்யல்ல போய் காவேரியில விழுந்துட்டே இருக்கு. But between these two rivers of Bhavani and Noyyal, there is a plateau, there is this landmass, Chittod and Perundurai and all these areas where there is no water because the land is downgrading towards the river like this. என்னடா ஆத்துல போய் தண்ணி கீழே இன்னொரு ஆத்துக்கு போய்கிட்டே இருக்கே, இந்த நடுவில் இருக்கிற இடத்துக்குலாம் தண்ணி இல்லையே, there is no water for this intermittent land parcels. What do? He decided, let me cut a canal from tributary 1, which is Bhavani, to tributary 2, which is Noyyal, and return the water to Kaveri after taking it through this parched land parcel. And he, young man, let me remind you, didn't cut a straight line canal, he took a wavering, meandering canal. And it was all done with hand, men and women working, toiling on ground. And together, towards tomorrow was the theme, the community came together. That canal exists even today. It's called the Kalingarayan Canal. Yes? And the beauty of this great water saint, he wrote a will which said, me nor my family, my lineage will not claim a single drop of water from this canal because this is my dedication to society. Such selfless acts is what has happened in this land. Bangara Doddi story from Mysore, the Ai Ammayar story from Pondicherry. You spoke about equality in nature. Men, women, everybody have worked equally for nature. This is what I've learned, and I'm not reinventing the wheel. I'm just following. I'm so proud. I'm so proud. I'm so proud that that blood and genes, I'm in no way related to them. I somehow feel that blood and genes is somewhere there in me, and I'm sure it's in all of us. Imagine if all of us come together with this kind of a platform, with those excavators, with that electricity, with that internet, with our Swifties, with our besties, if you're out there conserving nature, thousands of Kalingarayans and Bangaradoddi. Don't reinvent the wheel. India has things to learn from. India has already done all this. Don't beat around the chest, like just talking about, thumping the chest about how India was glorious, great at one point in time. Why is India this today and where India should go tomorrow? That's what we should think about. And my request, don't reinvent the wheel. Learn from India, work for India. That's all.
And you're talking about taking us back to a time where we can take pride in India, take pride in everything that we did, and how we had a very sustainable way of life. So this is not just sustainable tomorrow, this is learned from sustainable yesterday, so we can be sustainable today and tomorrow. Thank you once again.